I never planned to live this long. Maybe that's why I never really planned anything at all. When you're young, you don't think about being old. You don't picture yourself with a slower walk or with a medicine box on your nightstand. You don't imagine a silence so deep that the sound of your own breathing feels loud. But here I am, 78 years old. The days are long, the nights are longer, and the past is always wide awake. I don't know why I decided to speak today. Maybe it's guilt. Maybe I just need someone to hear me. But if you're younger than me and you still have time, then maybe, just maybe, what I say here might save you from becoming like me. Because these are the 5 things I regret the most. And the last one broke me. It also fixed me. But we'll get there. Let's start with the first. Mantelpiece clock regret number 1. I chased success and lost time instead. When I was in my 30s, I thought I was behind. Everyone I knew was getting ahead. New cars, new houses, vacations in places I couldn't even spell. I remember waking up one morning, looking at my wife sleeping next to me, and thinking, I'm not enough. Not yet. That thought poisoned everything. I stopped having breakfast with her. I started checking emails before brushing my teeth. And at work, I was a machine. Late nights, early mornings. I missed birthdays, dinners, laughs, quiet moments. Back then, I told myself, I'll make time later. When we have enough money, when things calm down, then I'll be present. You know what's funny? Later never showed up. One morning, I got home at 2 a.m. from a work trip. She was awake, waiting on the couch. She looked tired, not angry, just empty. She asked me, do you even know what day it is? I blinked. I didn't know. It was our anniversary. I bought her flowers the next day. But flowers don't fix time. I didn't cheat. I didn't scream. I didn't hurt her the way you see in movies. I hurt her slowly, quietly, over years, with absence. And then one day, she stopped waiting up for me. And one day after that, she stopped talking to me at all. We never divorced, but we became strangers who shared a kitchen. And now she's gone. Cancer took her faster than I ever thought possible. I would give every dollar I ever made to have one more dinner with her. No phones, no laptop, just the clinking of forks and her voice filling the room again. But I was busy building a life. Turns out, I was just building a prison. If you're hearing this and you're always too busy, ask yourself one thing. Busy for what? Because success doesn't keep you warm at night. And nobody will remember your emails when you're gone. Older adult regret number 2. I didn't say, I'm sorry when it mattered. The second regret? It's quieter, but haunts me deeper. It happened when I was 42. My son was 17, rebellious, sharp-tongued, full of fire, and I was full of fear. He wanted to become a writer, and I told him I was stupid. I remember the fight like it was yesterday. We were in the kitchen. He was waving around a notebook filled with pages of a story he'd written. He said, "This is what I want to do, Dad. I feel alive when I write." And I laughed, right in his face. I said, "You'll starve. Grow up." He didn't yell. He didn't cry. He just looked at me like I was a stranger. Then he walked out, and he didn't speak to me for 6 months. Later, when we finally started talking again, he was colder, distant. He became an accountant. Hated it. We never talked about that notebook again. But I saw him reading alone sometimes, staring into space like he was talking to someone who wasn't there. I wanted to say I was sorry. 100 times. I wrote letters, ripped them up. I waited for the right moment. That moment never came. He moved away, had kids of his own, called sometimes. But we never had that talk. And then 2 years ago, after his divorce, he said something over the phone that cut me open. I stopped dreaming the day you laughed at mine. Silence. He didn't even say it to hurt me. He just said it. And I had nothing to give back but a trembling breath. Pride is the most expensive thing you'll ever own. And I paid with my son's trust. If you're holding on to an apology right now, let it go. Say it. Write it. Whisper it. Just don't wait for perfect. Perfect doesn't exist. But regret does. I've told you 2 regrets now. They're heavy, I know. But the third is darker. The kind of mistake that doesn't just take someone from you. It takes a part of you. And in part two, I'll tell you the one regret that nearly ended everything. But also, I'll finally share the one piece of advice that changed everything. The advice I wish someone told me when I was still young. And trust me, once you hear it, you won't forget it. Broken heart regret number 3. I compared everything. And it ruined me. When I was in my 40s and 50s, I had this habit, a poison. I compare my life to everyone else's. If a friend bought a better car, I felt like a failure. If my neighbor's son got into a better college, I felt like my parenting wasn't enough. If someone my age looked healthier, I hated my reflection. And I kept chasing upgrades, as if they'd finally make me feel whole. New watches, new phones, a newer grill in the backyard. But happiness kept slipping through my fingers. I had a good job, a home, a family, but I couldn't enjoy any of it because I was busy scrolling through someone else's highlight reel while I ignored the movie of my own life. The worst part? I don't remember half the things I bought, but I remember the birthdays I missed because I was too busy saving for something better. Now that I'm old, I wear the same jacket every day. I have one pair of shoes. I don't check Instagram. Hell, I barely check the weather. And you know what? I'm more at peace now, with less, than I ever was when I had more. The truth is, comparison is the thief of joy. But no one tells you that until joy is already gone. Revolving hearts regret number 4. I let my friends disappear. This one stings differently, because it wasn't one mistake. It was a slow vanishing act. I had friends, good ones. We played cards, went camping. We laughed so loud it echoed off the lake. Then we got busy. Let's catch up soon became a sentence with no date. I remember getting a text from Paul, my best friend in college. Let's grab coffee. I said, next week's rough. How about the week after? The week after never came. A year later, I found out he passed away. Heart attack in his sleep. Just 56. And all I could think about was that message. That unread bubble. That unseen smile. I've buried more friends than I can count. But the grief isn't just that they're gone. It's that I let them fade while they were still here. So if someone's been on your mind lately, call them. Not tomorrow. Not next week. Now, glowing star regret number 5. I never learned to be still. This one took me the longest to understand. When I was younger, I thought peace meant vacation. Somewhere far, with a beach and a drink in hand. But even there, my mind raced. What's next? Who needs me? What am I missing? I couldn't sit still. Couldn't hear silence without panicking. I was addicted to doing, because being felt like failure. And so I ran. Through decades. Through jobs. Through relationships. Through my youth. Until one day, there was nowhere left to run. I was sitting alone on a Tuesday. Rain tapping the window. Clock ticking. No phone buzzing. And for the first time in my life, I didn't know what to do with the moment. That's when it hit me. I never learned to simply exist, to breathe, to watch the wind, to listen to my own heartbeat without judgment. Stillness isn't laziness. It's clarity. It's presence. And presence is the closest thing we get to magic in this life. So if you're young and restless, always reaching for more, try sitting still. Just once. No music, no screens, no plans, just you and the moment. You'll learn things about yourself that no achievement will ever teach you. Glowing star, the final truth, the advice that changed everything. I promise you something. Something that shook me when I finally understood it. It's not a quote. It's not a fancy phrase. It's a truth. You don't own your time. You only borrow it. And every moment you waste, in pride, in fear, in silence, in scrolling, in anger, in chasing what doesn't matter, you're borrowing against a clock you'll never see. I used to think time was mine. I said, I'll fix it tomorrow. I'll tell her next week. I'll rest when I'm done. But the truth is, we never know when done comes. And if you wait for the perfect moment to live, to love, to cry, to try, to say sorry, it won't come. Make the moment. Make the call. Make the leap. If I had understood that in my 30s, I would have lived differently, loved louder, let go sooner. But now all I can do is tell you, You, whoever you are, still have time. More than I do. So please, don't waste it the way I did. And if you've listened all the way to the end, then maybe, just maybe, my regrets have become your beginning.